Hello and welcome to a random review. I was out with my family. I was visiting them this weekend and I was in an unfamiliar city, and I came across one of these kind of army surplus stores where they sell all kinds of army boots and camo shirts and things like that. And in the window they had quite a wide selection of like hunting knives and Bowie knives and things. So I popped in and asked if they had any UK legal folding knives. Um, and to my horror, they only had two types. They had the Victorinox Swiss Army knives, and I've got a couple of those, and I don't really want any more of those. And the only other option they had were Opinels. And I've seen these before. I've never really been attracted to them. I don't think they're the best looking knives in the world. But I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. So I've picked up an Opinel number 5, which is a UK legal one. And this is in the carbon steel. Now, as I don't know much about these. As far as I know, there's two main steels. There's a inox, which is a stainless steel, and then this carbon steel. And the main thing that attracted me to this is that I've never really experienced carbon steel before. And from what I understand, it's a bit softer than some of the other steels I normally deal with. And I've heard it can take a really nice sharp edge. So I'm hoping to use this as a bit of a sharpening practice and to see how sharp I can actually get a knife. And I brought this one out as well. This is the UK PK. And the reason I brought this one out is that this is in a very hard steel S110V. And I find this to be a right pain to sharpen. Once you do manage to get an edge on there, it does stay a long time. But I'm kind of thinking this might be the polar opposite in terms of steel, where this is probably going to be a lot softer but a lot easier to sharpen. So that's going to be something I'm looking forward to having a play around with. In terms of the knife itself, I can get a nice 3-finger grip on this one. I was quite surprised when I first opened it that it's more of a friction folder. It's a very simple design. This is one of the ones without the locking collar. It's a smaller one, but it's literally like a friction folder. And there's nothing holding the blade in the open position. So I'm going to have to be very careful with this. If I do spend some time sharpening this up, that there's nothing really stopping it from closing on your fingers there. So I will be careful with this knife. And the other thing I noticed as well is it doesn't seem to have much of an edge on there. There's no grind down to a point. It's weird. I don't know whether they all come like that or what, but I'm going to put that on the Lansky system and try and get some kind of edge on there. Let me just see if I can grab some paper. What's this? There's a sheet paper here. Just check that this one works. So that one's nice and sharp. Now this is blunt as hell. Can you hear that? Trying to rip through. So in terms of pocket knives, it has a non-existent edge on there. I don't know whether they've forgotten to grind one on or whether they all come like that. But I'm going to have a play around with that. I'm going to practice sharpening with it. It's a carbon steel, so it is likely to rust. Now, I did hear similar things of D2 on the Lunas, but I've never had any rust issues on those. But I think this is going to be another order of magnitude more likely to rust. So I do have some mineral oil that I'm going to start to wipe on there. And the other thing I've noticed, which I don't really like about this knife, is that in the closed position, this is a really sharp edge. I reckon that would be enough to rip through a pair of trousers. It's very, very sharp, so I might actually dull that down a bit with a bit of wet and dry paper. But overall, yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a try. I'm going to practice my sharpening skills, try and get an edge on there. And I'm hoping this is going to be my sharpest knife, because I've heard carbon steel is really nice to play around with on the sharpening front. So there you go. It's just a quick review. My first Opinel is the carbon version. But yeah, I'll let you know how I get on, and I'll let you know how sharp I can get this knife as well. All right, that's it for now. I hope you're having a nice day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, YouTube. Hi guys, just a quick follow-up video. You know, I was disappointed with the edge on this new Opinel number 5. in the carbon steel. It's honestly, this is the nicest knife I've had to sharpen. It's just unbelievable how fast you can get an edge on this knife. So I dug out my Lansky Deluxe Diamond sharpening kit. I only started with the medium fine diamond. I didn't even touch the coarse or extra coarse rods. And honestly, I got through the whole sharpening process within about 5 minutes because the blade just responds so well to the sharpening tools. And if I show you now, I don't know if you can even see the edge. You might see a bit of a more of a polished finish just on the edge there. But this is the same sheet of paper I was testing before, and it's just unbelievable now. Hardly any pressure. Trying to find a clean bit. I've done too many cuts. It's just great. So yeah, I am looking forward to having a bit more time sharpening and playing around with this carbon steel, but I can certainly see the appeal from my experience so far in terms of having a screaming sharp edge. So yeah, I'll keep you updated, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys.